So, weekly planning has been very useful ever since I started utilizing it pretty regularly as of last year. Before then, I kind of used it off and on. But this last semester kind of proved that it was necessary going forward in life because I had college classes, two internships, a book business, and I was streaming at the time. And if I wasn't planning my week, in advance, I wouldn't be able to succeed as well as I did during that semester. So I kind of want to give you guys my insights and my personal ideas on weekly planning so that you guys may utilize them in the future. Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Aquino and I help teach the next generation. So why weekly planning to me personally is the most important is pretty simple. That last semester of college was brutal in terms of how many responsibilities I had to handle. At any given day, I was doing most, if not all of them. And I really had to nail down what I was doing because there was hour-long meetings, hour-long classes, multiple days of work for the books, internship assignments taking hours to do. I had streamed, edited, and did everything in terms of posting all by myself. So I would spend hours on everything and have very little time in the end. But because I use weekly planning, I gave myself time to kind of think, when is the most important time to do this? When's the best time to do this? Can I push this back? Can we push this up? I finished this a bit early. Like, it helped me visualize my time. And it really helped in terms of making the end of it pretty easy. Because by the time everything started winding down, everything was kind of already done and set in stone a couple of weeks beforehand. The reason why you should consider implementing the weekly planning into your kind of daily routine, or weekly routine, I should say, is first, it reduces stress because you know exactly what has to get done before the week begins. I usually plan my week on Sunday. So when I wake up on Monday, I already have a set thing to do. And then for the rest of the week, it has that same kind of deal because I always plan tomorrow today and I always live by that principle. So after this, better managing your time. So by mapping out the week, you can immediately put all your effort on the most important tasks right off the bat. For me, right now, recording is the most important task for this week, probably, because I'm probably trying to record 30 to 40 videos this week for long form content. So I need to make sure that that is the first thing that I do. So every chunk in the calendar that is deep work or, time to work is dedicated to me. It's made it a lot easier. I'll tell you what, making it pretty easy. After that, increasing overall productivity. So using time blocking, batching, the eat the frog principle have all led me to getting more done in less time. Because I'm so hyper focused, hyper fixated on getting everything done ASAP and on time and in a timely manner, I can get so much done in less amount of time. So the biggest one actually was batching that I didn't even think about. When I first started recording, I recorded, I think, a video a day. That didn't work because I would always have to set stuff up and that would take time. Nowadays, 5 to 10 videos that I'm going to record. So I have all my equipment set up and record all 5-10 videos in one go so that I have everything done. So that's been really helpful in terms of, improving how much stuff gets done. The other two, super important. I've talked about them plenty. Then there's obviously improved focus. You got a clear plan that leads to less. So that clear plan that leads to less being less distracting by other tasks. That sentence didn't make sense, so we're going to ignore that sentence. So basically, just you have improved focus. You know what you're doing. So you're going to focus on just that. And then you achieve your goals because you kind of just set yourself up for success. I'm going to break it down in 6 easy steps for this thing that I do. So step 1 is you want to reflect on the previous week. So it's always important to reflect because it gives you a sense of accomplishment. I feel we never give ourselves enough credit on what we get done. There was a time recently where I was going to repost content that I had on LinkedIn on different groups. And I didn't realize, but I posted a month's worth of content. Like, I did that all in a day. And I was like, damn, I do get a lot done. Holy crap. Okay. So maybe you look back and you're like, look at all this I did. Good job, me. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. It also can be a learning opportunity of what worked and what didn't work. So in terms of testing out times, I know when I first started, I was testing out the time for the gym, and I've settled on after breakfast because I just have the energy. I'm awake. I've probably eaten at that point. So I'm good to go on the gym. I did go before, like on an empty stomach, and my work suffered because of it. So I've, figured out what works and what doesn't, It also allows for prioritization. So it understands the reasons as to why you're behind on incomplete tasks, so you can better prioritize them for next week. I know there were times where I had fallen behind on an essay and I was wondering what was going on. And it was because so many unexpected things from the other important responsibilities kept coming up. So I had to get those done out of the way. You can understand and reflect on what you were doing right, and then something came up, so you can account for that next time. So that's step 1, reflecting on the previous week. Step 2 is preparing for effective planning. So you want to make sure you check your calendar for any non-negotiable things that you have to get done. So you want to make sure you're aware of them and ensure that all tasks for the upcoming week are accounted for. Assignment deadlines, business deadlines, appointments, dates, going out, family time, etc. If it's a non-negotiable and you have to be there, make sure you have that on the calendar already before you do anything else. This has to be the first thing you do. So later on, you're not surprised, like, oh shit, I missed out on I forgot to go on my date. Like, make sure you have it on the calendar before anything else gets added, because then we can build around the calendar or around the planner on that. I know I've been doing that. Great success. If you want a tip for a buffer, I typically have a 15 to 30 minute buffer on non-negotiables. So in case there's traffic, in case there's something going wrong with me getting ready, something goes wrong in general, I have a bit of time to save me. So if a date's at 12, I'm out and ready to go by 11:30. So I have time to, be prepared and such. It also depends on the trip, but whatever. Anyway, the next thing you would want to do is you want to schedule any of your recurring tasks into time blocks. So set all the tasks that have to get done every week to help maintain yourself or your goals. Preferably, if you can batch them all in a single day, try and do that. So I've been trying to batch all my chores in a single day. So cleaning my room, the laundry, and my car. I'm trying to do that all in one day instead of breaking it up into different days. So that way I don't have to think about it later on where I've already done it. So if you have recurring tasks, like, as I said, chores, cooking time, gym sessions, content creation, scripting, whatever it is you do every single day on a weekly basis, schedule that. And if you can, try and batch a bunch of similar things into the same time so that you can get that all done out the way and free up time later on. So after that, step 4 would be schedule your work into time blocks. So schedule the times you go to work and include driving there and back if applicable. Also give yourself a time buffer, as I previously mentioned. And if you don't work a traditional job like myself, then set times for doing business work instead. So my business work is from 4 a.m. to 7, and then from 10 till about 4. So those are the times I've designated, like that's when I'm going to work my hardest on the things that mean the most to me. For you, if you got a 9 to 5, well, that's the time. If you've got a part-time, whatever times you work as your part-time, that's the time you work. So as you'll start to fill out the calendar or the planner, you kind of see where your time is going and how much time you actually have in the day, which I freaking love. It's like painting a picture. And finally, after that, for me, for step 5, is scheduling business tasks into my time block. So set the times you plan on dedicating business work to prioritize business growth. And other things that can fall under this, if you're not a businessman like myself, could be professional development, self-improvement activities, creating a business, etc. Anything that helps you improve yourself in general should fall under this category. So if you can make time to improve and learn and grow, add that to the calendar if you still have time. So after this, the most important thing overall, in general, stick to the plan. Strive to stick to your plan as much as possible, but you always have to be prepared to be flexible and adaptable in your journey. If something comes up, an emergency arises, your car breaks down, this happens, that happens, you have to make sure that you are ready to be focused on that. be flexible, but always make sure to try and strive. If it's a perfect day, try and get as much work done. Try to stick to your plan as much as possible. So that way you can succeed and you build up that habit, that very good habit for managing your time and creating a weekly plan. So if you follow this step-by-step process, honestly, it's pretty hard to fail, honestly. It's you have to go out of your way to mess up and not follow through on this to truly get a lot of benefit out of it. If you can, try and follow this step by step. I will probably be making a full guide on planning your week, because if you can do this every week and set it up correctly, you are good for like the rest of the year or like rest of the year. Because honestly, it's pretty easy to make and it's very easy to not mess it up. If you want to learn more about time management and such, there's a coaching program in the description. Let's get together one-on-one. Let's make you an elite level time management pro.